Hello, and welcome again to Not Fake News. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Not Fake TV is not funded by big tech or big companies. We're funded by people like you. Please consider supporting us by going to the link in the description, notfaketv.com. And welcome to another episode of today's censored news, the news the mainstream media does not want you to hear. And while we take a look at this cartoon of the day, and then get right into our breaking stories. The FBI gave immunity, and where are they today? Philly cop shooter Maurice Hill attended a radical mosque, and Italy's Salvini responds, tells Richard Gere to take stranded migrants to Hollywood home on his jet.
Boats in the middle of the ocean. One of the boats was turned back and taken by the Libyan Navy. We don't know what happened to them. The two boats that were rescued here, probably all hands on board would have been lost. So the people that you see here on this boat, they're only here because of the donations to Open Arms, to the work that Open Arms does. And now the most important thing for these people here is to be able to get to a free port, be able to get off the boat, get on land, and start a new life, be taken care of, and make a life for themselves.
Little known fact, Richard Gere was slaughtered by machetes 5 minutes after that. I'm just kidding. God, did you ever hear of comedy? I'm just kidding. Just a joke. Jog on. Update, anti-Semitic Democrat Rashida Tlaib says she will not visit Israel after all. And then post several Jewish bashing tweets. Proud Boy releases official statement after Portland officials target and arrest conservative pro-Trump patriots before Saturday rally. Okie-dokie. On Friday, the Proud Boy organization released an official statement on the police roundup of conservative activists in Portland, Oregon. Following the embarrassing and impotent performance on Fox News, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler has decided to randomly pursue criminals charges against right-leaning political activists in the days leading up to August 17th. End domestic terrorism rally aimed at drawing attention to the documented and deranged violent tactics of Antifa. This coordinated Gestapo-style roundup of free speech advocates is not a mistake or randomly timed. Considering the lack of arrests or warrants issued for dozens of violent Antifa domestic terrorists still at large from the previous melees, these disturbing movements prove an underlying political motivation for the recent actions from the Portland Mayor and Portland Police Bureau. Wheeler, whatever his name is, refused to name the domestic terrorist group by name during his Fox News interview, but claimed that the Portland Police Bureau was still investigating Antifa's brutal beating of gay journalist Andy Ngo, which left him hospitalized with a brain bleed. Despite a mountain of evidence and Rose City Antifa claiming responsibility for the gay bashing, no warrants have been issued or arrests made. Antifa has been allowed to run roughshod over law enforcement and citizens in Portland for years, using their fists and blunt force objects to bludgeon their opponents into silence or self-imposed exile from subsequent political gatherings for fear of ending up in a body bag or forever maimed at the hands of the black masked psychopaths. Just recently, an Antifa-obsessed and alt-left-linked madman killed 9 people and injured more than a dozen during a mass shooting in Daytona, Ohio. I'm sorry, folks. The perpetrator was an active advocate of Antifa, specifically used their violence against anyone who opposes their desire for progressive anarcho-society. On Thursday, the Portland Police Bureau falsely claimed on Twitter that it had been unable to coordinate with organizers of the End Domestic Terrorism rally, despite organizers having already begun communication with the liaison officer. While the organizers of the End Domestic Terrorism rally remain steadfast in their support for law enforcement officers, putting such dubious claims out to the public served no purpose other than to stoke the flames of division and discontent. Unfortunately, it looks like Antifa sympathizer or politically motivated public relations staffer with Portland Police Bureau is intent on creating a cloud of confusion surrounding Saturday's gathering. As such, it is extremely important for us to make clear several things yet again. We will not tolerate violence or racism. Those looking to engage in racism or violence should stay home, or you will be mocked and humiliated in the most peaceful manner possible. We have been in contact with liaison officer with the Portland Police Bureau and find it very concerning that they are claiming otherwise. We have engaged with local and federal law enforcement regarding their concerns from the beginning. To say otherwise is simply not true. Stated organizer Enrico Tario, who serves as the chairman of the Proud Boys. The End Domestic Terrorism rally has turned into a hotly debated discussion on the activities of Antifa, a group that every sane American wants labeled as domestic terrorist organization. Following a cascade of violence initiated by the group that has swept from coast to coast since the election of Donald Trump, Portland, Oregon has been the birth point of the group's more violent and anti-American activities. And NotFakeTV.com will be there with a crew to film tomorrow, Saturday, August 17th. So make sure you subscribe to NotFakeTV.com tonight and support everyone that's associated with it. Your support is the reason we're able to do these trips to Portland like we are. The Proud Boys have a long history of defending rally-goers and draining local bars of their beer and booze. We have several prominent constitutional law attorneys on standby this weekend in the event that Antifa or Portland Police Bureaus infringe on our constitutionally protected right to assemble peacefully and communicate our love for America and all things patriotic. Concluded Joe Biggs, a 2-time Purple Heart combat veteran who is also organizing and overseeing the End Domestic Terrorism rally. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness of me, saith the Lord. Isaiah 54:17. Okay. Anyone that intends on joining the End Domestic Terrorism rally on Saturday in downtown Portland should refrain from bringing any items or objects that would be considered weapons. You will be ejected, sight unseen, period. No violence, no hate, no bad vibes. If you are not on site by 11 a.m., please stay home. It is imperative that all rally goers arrive on time for their own safety. Right, because then getting in through the Antifa might be trouble. Wow, folks. Wow. Right? Moving right along, Pete Buttigieg reportedly helped create a phone system alert to alert illegal aliens about ICE raids. Wow. Against the law, Buttigieg. Larry C. Johnson, the unraveling of the failed coup to take out Trump. Let's see. This video that I'm making right now is lax video that I use. They're usually videos inside these things. A lot more videos. This time it's a lot of me reading, which I don't mind, but this looks like a biggie. But yeah, take a look. You got Obama, Lynch, Comey, Sally Yates, Hillary. They don't even put her name there. Andrew McCabe, Bill Priestap, Glenn Simpson, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Bruce, and Nellie Orr. Huh. If you want to read this on your own, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to move right along. Because I care about you. And I don't want you to have to be bored to death. CNN staffers are embarrassed over the Chris Cuomo Fredo freakout. Top forensic pathologist, only 1% of hanging deaths results in broken thyroid bone, like Epstein had. Yeah. Ha! I'm not dumb, I'm smart. I'm not dumb, I'm smart. Hey, my name is Fredo. Pass it around on the internet. Of course. Oh my God, it's just everywhere now. He is Fredo. Again, you're like, why aren't you reading this, dude? Because, come on, we know what do we need to read? We got everything we need from that title. If we can believe what CNN says at all, we're going to believe that they're upset. They don't give a shit about us.
And attorney, Dr. Cyril Wecht. Welcome to the show, Dr. Wecht.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.
So let's talk a little bit about this hyoid bone, because there was a case in 2008, an inmate named Ronnie L. White, who purportedly hung himself. Then it turned out because of the exact same fracture, his death was ruled a homicide. How critical of a finding is this in the medical examiner's report?
Hyoid bone fractures are indeed rare in cases of suicidal hanging. In an extensive study done from the medical examiner's office in Montreal, 239 cases over a 6-year period of apparent suicides. There were only 6 in which the hyoid bone was fractured. And that gave me much pause from the first time that I heard about it. And that is something that is generally found with manual strangulation, not even with ligature strangulation. And now, of course, we're hearing that there were fractures of the cervical vertebral column, and that presents a different scenario. If indeed he hurled himself or was hurled off the top bunk, then you have the speed, the velocity coming in that can impart the kind of force that would be required to produce fractures of both the hyoid bone and the cervical vertebral column. So we've got the different scenarios, and we have to learn more about it. And as you mentioned, there are other things to look at, the absence of cameras, the withdrawal of Suicide Watch. Why was Tartaglione is ex-cop jailmate charged with 4 murders, removed from his cell the day before. These are things that have to be thoroughly, and even if he hurled himself off, there's still a lot of questions. Again, was he goaded? Was he encouraged? Was he, told, like I know prosecutors and law enforcement officers sometimes like to do when they try to get somebody.
No, if someone aided in his suicide, or if this was in fact homicide, wouldn't there be physical evidence left on his body?
Well, there might well be. And we have to see the complete autopsy report. We have to learn about the injuries external and the injuries internal. We want to know how many hemorrhages there were in these little muscles in the neck and the soft tissues. Microscopic examination. What are the ages of it? Do any of them relate back to the July 23rd incident? Are they all fresh? So these are the things that we have to learn from the autopsy report. And they have to, of course, correlate their findings with what they learned from the investigators. And until that's all put together, and everybody who had access to Epstein in that jail, who could have gotten into the cell, including even people who may not have duty, but who still have that kind of accessibility. I believe every one of them should be individually and separately interrogated. This is, as you've said, a terrible case. No matter what you think about Epstein, that's not the point. This is not the way things should be handled in prisons in America. And as you know so well, this, of course, is a prison that has housed people like Gotti and Bernard Sadoff and recently El Chapo. And we're not talking about a one-cell little rinky-dink jail in East Podunksville somewhere in the rural America.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. Defend African Resistance. Black Liberation Group plans Philly March Friday to free cop shooter. Yeah, imagine that shit. What the hell? Thousands of supporters locked out of a Trump rally as hundreds of empty seats in New Hampshire Arena went unfilled. Trump mocks a protester thrown out, says that guy's got a serious weight problem. Yeah, that was funny. Epstein's pimp and groomer, Miss Maxwell, spotted at an In-N-Out Burger reading a book on secret lies and deaths of CIA operatives. Who gives a shit? Soros-backed anti-cop Philadelphia DA Kashner blasted by Trump, appointed by U.S. attorneys for attacking the wounded 6 officers. Whatever. Dr. Mark Siegel on Epstein's order, only 1%. We heard that just now. New docs reveal Nellie Orr examined anti-Trump smears to DOJ top official Lisa Holton during the time Orr worked at Fusion GPS. Wow. Predictable. Hamas-linked CARE defends Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib's entry into Israel while pushing legislation to destroy Israel. I need answers. San Fran woman lashes out at Gavin Newsom after she is savagely beaten by a homeless man released from prison by a liberal judge. This was interesting, folks. Watch this. A San Fran woman was named Penna something, lashed out at Newsom after she was savagely beaten by a homeless man who was released from prison by a leftist judge. There's no sound. Wow. Wow, what is this guy's problem? And then he just calmly walks away like Michael Myers. Dun, 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 dun. That's weird. That thing just made. All right. Here we go. Democrat Liz Warren defends anti-Semitism. If you like our videos and you feel our content provides value in your life, then please consider going to notfaketv.com. There you will be supporting not one, but up to 20 different YouTubers, many that you may even already know. NotFakeTV.com is a safe haven for these YouTubers to post whatever they feel like posting without fear of being demonetized or removed from the platform. Please consider going to NotFakeTV.com. Your low monthly cost of only $9.99 a month will support and give these YouTubers a safe haven to work. Big tech and mainstream media are trying to silence conservative voices. Don't just sit there. Step up. Help. NotFakeTV.com.